Welcome to More Than Kimchi. I'm Mark Wenzel. Well, More Than Kimchi is Arirang TV's new cooking show, and it's a great chance for all of us to learn how to make those dishes that we love to eat. Well, I have to admit to you that I'm not a professional Korean cook, but fortunately, the woman I'm with here is an expert. She's my partner, Hwa Young-jeon.
How do you do? Well, I don't know whether I'm an expert of Korean food, but I do love cooking. You know, people outside of Korea, when they think of Korean food, first thing that comes to their mind is kimchi. But of course, there's a lot more to Korean food than kimchi.
Right.
That's where we got our name. On this show, I would like us to learn a wide variety of Korean food, so I hope you can join us.
That sounds great. You know, we're not only going to teach you how to make Korean food, but we're going to give you some health tips so that you can learn about what's good for you in the process. Well, you know, my mouth is already watering, so what's the first dish today?
Today, we're going to show you how to make 버섯 영양솥밥. Have you heard that, Mark, before?
I have. That's a mushroom rice dish, right?
Yes, it's sort of like, you know, Western rice pilaf. There you're cooking rice with some broth and some fresh vegetables.
Ooh, you know, I think this is going to be a great seasonal dish. We'll be right back with today's ingredients.
Okay, let's look at today's ingredients. Since it's a rice dish, why don't we start with the rice there?
Okay. Now you soak the rice, right?
Yes, usually you need to soak about an hour.
Oh, okay.
And if you don't have enough time, perhaps you can use the hot water and then soak for about 20 minutes.
All right, now soaking the rice makes it soft.
That's right, before you cook it.
Okay.
And this is a dry seaweed called dashima. And this gives a very good flavor when you soak it in water for about 20 minutes or so.
Oh,
right.
okay.
And
now
then
this is the water here with the tashima is going to be the broth for the dish.
To cook the rice.
Okay.
And then here we have a lot of vegetables and some nuts there. Let's start from here. This is enoki mushroom, and this is oyster mushrooms. And then this is Chinese dates, they're a little bit dried. And then here is a pine nut. And ginkgo nuts and chestnuts. It's peeled here. These are all fresh over here.
Okay.
And then I have here
shiitake.
shiitake,
right?
that's right, shiitake mushrooms.
So there are 3 kinds of mushrooms in this dish. Wow, that's going to be a great mushroom dish. All right. Well, what do we have to do first?
First thing I'd like to do is why don't we prepare the mushrooms.
Okay.
And this is oyster mushroom that I'm going to boil. See, the shape is very easy to break. And that's the reason we would like to boil it just maybe about a half a minute.
Okay.
So while I'm boiling the mushroom, perhaps you can prepare other mushrooms.
So I've got these here. Now when I cut these...
You can cut the end perhaps about 1.5 inches.
Okay.
And then take them apart.
All right. You know, these mushrooms are really delicious. I've eaten them quite often in Korea. Now, what about the shiitake mushrooms? Can we eat the stem, or do we have to take that off?
No, it's a little too hard to use it together, so why don't you take the stem off?
I've heard that you can use these stems for other dishes or for other cooking. Is that
right. True? In Korea, we use that for sometimes to make soup, because it gives a nice flavor.
Oh, okay.
So you can save it for later use.
All right. So I'll put this here. Now, I've heard that these mushrooms are pretty easy to find in Korea. If you go to a market, you can...
Right. These are pretty common in Korea, so you can buy very easily in Korea.
Okay.
Now for chestnuts, you can cut it in half.
All right. So as you can see, we already peeled these chestnuts, and now we're going to cut them in half. So I'll do that. And what do you have next?
Also, Mark, I want to show you how you prepare this Chinese dates. It's called techu.
Oh, right, right.
And it's a little dried ones. And inside there's a hard seed. So this way,
now
you take off the seed.
Oh, okay.
And
I've noticed that Koreans really like these.
Yeah, these are really popular in Korea.
Okay. So maybe I'll cut one myself.
Sure,
now,
go ahead.
I put my thumb here. I don't want to cut myself.
Right.
Put my thumb
here. Turn it around.
Okay.
That way you can get rid of the seed. And then you will have this nice piece of the fruit.
I'm not very good at this.
Oh, I think you're doing very well.
but
Wonderful.
I think I got it nonetheless. All right, I'm going to practice my cutting skill, all right?
Wonderful.
And maybe I'll get better. Now, you said just cut this here like this?
And also I want to show you, I just cooked this mushroom before. Now it's soft and nice, and we're going to just cut it with finger.
Oh, really?
You just take
can
it
just pull it apart.
Right. You want to try this?
Sure. All right, so you just grab it. Now, is there a line on here that you follow?
No,
or?
once it's cooked, you can see the texture is a little changed.
Gosh, these smell so good. They smell really good.
That's the fresh fall smell.
It smells great. So we just basically tear these in two. All right. And now all of these things are going to go in. Do we have everything ready?
I think we are pretty much ready now.
All right. So what's next?
Next, we're going to assemble.
Okay. So I guess that means we need the rice.
That's right.
All right, so here's
the seeds.
Sure.
Right. And this has been soaked about an hour.
Okay.
The rice is all very soft and ready to cook.
How many cups of rice were we using?
It's about 2 cups of rice.
Okay, so about 2 cups of rice. It's been soaking for an hour. And you just put it right there in the middle. Okay. Right. Now we're going to add the ingredients. Is there any special order that we use?
No, I think as long as you kind of, arrange it nicely.
Okay.
It'll be nice to
We're looking for an aesthetic value here. So we're going
to... First, you're going to use with the shiitake mushrooms.
Okay.
And then...
Just kind of put everything in?
Right.
Alrighty. Well, these ingredients look so fresh. I have a feeling this is going to taste really good. Okay. Now, it's okay if we put just about everything in there? It's not too much?
I think once it's cooked, it'll be all
It'll kind of
nice,
soak together, right?
Would you like to put some of those ginkgo nuts?
Now, do I just spread them on?
Yeah. That'll be just
nice. I'm going to try one right now. Those are really good, really fresh.
And
okay.
Then we have some of chestnuts.
All right.
And then some
and
of
here's the
daechu.
Right, the daechu. Now, are we going to pour in the broth?
Yes, that's will be the last stage.
Is there any special way to do this?
No, you can just pour it gently.
Okay. So we keep the seaweed in.
Right. No, right.
Right,
just
in the bowl.
Liquid.
Okay. And all of it, or? Okay, so we pour that in.
And the ratio of the liquid and the rice is 1:1.
1:1, okay.
Now it's all ready.
This looks great. I'm so excited. All right, so we're going to put that on the stove now. How long do you have to cook it for?
First part, you're going to cook on a high flame for about 10 minutes. And after that, 5 minutes on medium. And last 5 minutes in a low flame.
Oh, okay, so you simmer it at the very end.
That's right.
Wow, oh, I can't wait until it's done. Well, let's talk a little bit about the health benefits of today's dish. First of all, I know that Koreans really like daechu. And I hear that it's good for you.
Yeah, we love it. We sometimes make tea, or sometimes we mix it with other Chinese medicine.
Oh, I see.
Right.
Okay. Now, what exactly is good about daechu? What does it do for you?
They said it helps your digestion. I think that's one of the reasons we drink quite a lot as a tea.
That kind of makes sense. Maybe it's, I don't know, is it similar to prunes?
It probably, yeah. In prune states, they say it's good for you.
Same thing, same
right.
digestive
Prune juice,
system.
We drink a lot of prune juice in the States side.
That's right.
I think rice is all done. I'm going to turn it off.
Oh, okay. Boy, it smells so good. It's got that fall smell.
That's right.
Can I take a look and see?
Oh, no. One thing, Mark, I'd like to tell you. When you cook rice in Asia, important thing is after it's all cooked, we usually leave about 5 minutes or so without opening the lid.
What's the reason for that?
That will keep the moisture inside and make the rice softer.
Oh, okay. I can see that. All right. Well, while I'm asking questions, I'd like to ask you a little bit about the seaweed here. It's called dashima?
Yes, it's called dashima.
And you use it quite a bit in cooking?
Yes, we do. In fact, we have so many different kinds of seaweed, and this is the one that we use for the flavor. And because the flavor is so important, we don't just wash with water.
Oh, okay.
So what we do is with the wet cloth, you just gently wipe off the dust at the top. And then after that, you can just soak it in water for about half an hour.
Now, I think they say that seaweed actually has a lot of nutritional value.
Right,
is that right?
Yes. The dashima has a lot of minerals, vitamins, and enzyme. And we also say it cleans your blood.
Really?
Yes, that's why we love it.
Okay. Well, if you want clean blood, then you can try the seaweed here. Now, what else was I going to ask you about here? Well, you were saying something about storing these?
Right. And these are already cut, but if you have fresh mushrooms left over, before you keep in the refrigerator, wrap them with the newspaper.
Oh, well, why do you wrap them in a newspaper?
Newspaper will help it to keep the moisture away from the mushrooms, and also that way you can keep it fresh for a longer time.
Oh, okay. Boy, all sorts of great hints here today. And I think that the rice is all ready, so let's eat. Well, it's time for a part of the show that I think I'm really going to enjoy over the next few months, and that's because we get to taste the food, right?
That's right.
In Korea, they say that people have food luck, and I guess that means that some really delicious foods just end up in your life.
That sounds like you, Mark.
I think because of you, I'm going to have really good food luck over the next few months. But I think we're ready to open it up, right?
I'm going to open it up. It's a little hot, so there we go.
Oh, that smells so good. I love the steam when it comes up like that.
And all the ingredients are, the fresh harvested vegetables.
It really looks like an autumn dish, just the colors. It has those autumn colors. Well, can I dig in?
Now, would you like to try?
Oh, sure. This looks so good. I can see that the vegetables have been compressed a little bit. And the flavor is then in the rice?
Yes, that's right.
The rice absorbs it a little bit. This looks so good. What's your favorite part of this dish?
I think it's the vegetable part, especially mushroom, because it really has the fresh smell to it.
It does. Now, you can put in other things into this,
of course.
Right? Okay.
Maybe I'll give you a little bit more chestnuts at the top. There.
All right. Well, let me try it here. I think this is going to be good. Wow.
How do you like it?
You know what? It's an incredibly natural flavor. It tastes like the earth. You can really taste that natural flavor. It's excellent. The chestnuts blend with the rice.
Right. Also with this dish, you can also use other ingredients. If you like chicken or mushroom, you can also use those, or just a vegetable. So you can make just a vegetable rice pilaf too.
Oh, I see. So this can be either a veggie dish or a meat dish, depending on your preference?
That's right.
Wow.
And one thing I want to mention to you is, there's at the bottom is a little bit scorched rice there. These are the real favorite part for Koreans. And this can be another dish. So what we do is after you take all the rice out, you will have a bottom layer of scorched rice. And what we do with that is put some water and then boil it. And that way we can drink the liquid as a soup.
What's that called in Korean?
It's the water is like a sungnyung. We call it. Sungnyung is the water that you soak those scorched rice.
So you can kind of make a soup almost?
Right.
Oh,
and then the rice part itself is like almost porridge. It's called nurumbap.
Nurumbap.
You must have had it before.
I've heard of that. Wow, we've learned so much today here on More Than Kimchi. What a great day. We've learned actually how to make two dishes because you can make the soup afterwards, right? And we've also learned about all the nutritional value of these foods.
That's right.
So thank you so much for teaching us today. I hope you at home get a chance to make this dish because it is delicious. And your friends will be very impressed if you can make it for them. Well, that's all for today, but please join us again tomorrow on More Than Kimchi.
Bye now.